Hey, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us for our May the 5th, 2021 Wednesday night Bible study. We'll be looking at a couple of different passages today. And again, I thank you so much for being with us. I hope you will join us on Sunday morning, Mother's Day, May 9th. Be my last Sunday at Harris Chapel Baptist Church. I have been blessed so much to be there. But there is a time where God says it's time to move on. And I tell you what, I've been so blessed, and uh, you won't find any sweeter, finer people than you will in the family at Harris Chapel Baptist Church. And I love you very much, and I thank you for it. I look forward to being with you some in the future as well. And I'll just look forward to seeing you Sunday. Bring someone with you Sunday, and looking forward to sharing with you. We will be doing a special honor for Brother George Henley on Sunday morning. He's not aware of everything that what's going to be done, but he's going to be celebrating 70 years of ministry. And if you want to bring a gift to him and Miss Margaret, I encourage you to do that, to be generous and just say thank you for serving the Lord for 70 years. What an amazing man of God and woman of God that they are, and what a blessing they are to our church. And so let's remember them as we celebrate mothers, and we're going to celebrate Brother George and Miss Margaret also on Sunday morning. Let's we'll continue on with our Bible study. Hopefully, I will see you on Sunday morning. Many of you've heard the amazing lyrics sung by the fine folks at Hee Haw many years ago. Gloom, despair, and agony on me. Deep, dark depression, excessive misery. If I had no bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Gloom, despair, and agony on me. Um, don't you love being around people with that kind of attitude? There are some people, and probably I've been that person myself at times, where it seems like everything's happening, everything's going wrong. Uh, for some people, life is a series of misfortunes and troubles and pain, and others may have the exact same issues in life, but they see them sometimes as each day. They just see each day as just a wonderful opportunity to serve the Lord. We all have our troubles, don't we? We all do. We all have obstacles in our life, and they can be opportunities, or we can let them defeat us. I shared on Sunday how Dr. Charles Stanley talked about difficulties and pain in our lives. It's often the time that God speaks to us the most, and that's what God uses in our life. Sometimes He says it's one of the greatest tools, if not the greatest tool in our life, is difficulties and pain. It's when God works the most in our life. Many of you may have heard of a man named David Ring. David spoke in many churches in our area when I was a teenager. Uh, he used to say, "What's your problem?" He was born with cerebral palsy. He has difficulties talking and walking. He was born the son of a Baptist pastor, but his father died when he was 10 years old. And his mother died when he was 14. He says that she's the only person he believed truly loved him. And it was a uh, dark day when she passed on into heaven for him. He became depressed. He dropped out of high school. He attempted suicide multiple times over a 2 year period. And in 1970, as a 17-year-old young man, he gave his life to Jesus Christ. He coined the phrase, and I've heard him say it, and you may have also. He said, "I have cerebral palsy, but cerebral palsy doesn't have me." And he'd go on to say, "What's your problem?" The world may have seen in him one thing, or seen him as one thing, but God saw him as his son. And he didn't just change his ways, Jesus changed his life. And as a result, each day is not another day of a miserable life, but an opportunity to live for Jesus. and he went on, got married, and God's blessed him in his life. I haven't heard from him in several years. I don't really know him personally, but I haven't seen him around in many years. I'm assuming he's still serving the Lord. But he would say, "What's your problem?" He'd say it kind of like that, and you'd be like, you listen to his testimony, and sometimes you think, you know what, my life, this woe is me, poor pitiful me attitude is, I need to kick in the pants sometimes, and not to look at my issues. I'll see some folks in different lands sometimes. And again, sometimes I think my problems are big. And then you look at somebody else's problems, you feel like, you know what, my problem probably not as big as some other folks. And I'm not trying to downplay anybody's issues or difficulties or problems. No, I'm not pointing a finger at anyone by this message, except for me, maybe. And but I think we need to hear this message. Um, and I think especially in a time when, like I do believe today, that it almost seems like everybody's a victim of something. Everybody's a victim of something. That it's always somebody else's fault. And instead of saying, Lord, thank you for this day. I want to serve you. I want to live for you today. Psalm 118:24. Powerful verse. I remember Miss Irene Roach, who's gone on to be with the Lord. I met her. She was in her 80s when I first met her at Mount Airy Baptist Church in Easley, South Carolina. A woman who loved missions, a woman who prayed for me all the time, a woman who prayed for my family, who prayed for missions, who walked with God, who read her Bible. Probably had, she walked all the time, but I think she was a widow, and she probably could complain, but every day she'd get up and she'd say this phrase. She'd get up, open her Bible, and she'd say, "This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." And what a what a testimony! I see that. I've seen that in other folks as well. That you just see them, and uh, we had a man named Brother Franklin at the church I was at Mount Moriah Baptist Church. What a man of God! I mean, just that was his attitude in life. Though he may not have said those same words, it was, uh, he lived his life as just loving others and loving the Lord, and still does. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And I'm not just talking about having a positive attitude. As believers, we should be filled with the joy of the Lord, and we should rejoice in the Lord. It's more than just I'm going to be happy today. No, as a believer, you can truly say, I've got joy that the world doesn't have. And if you look for the world for joy or peace, you're not going to find it. If you look on the news, it wasn't long ago, I just kind of looked at one of the main news feeds on a website and just kind of said, I'm going to look at the articles and see how many are negative, how many are positive. And they had 15 main articles on their page. 13 of the articles were negative. 2 were neutral. None of them were positive. And if you want to be miserable, just base your life off of the evening news or going online and look at news. It just seems like if you want to just get beat down, just watch the news. But if you want joy in your life and you want to experience the joy that God has, wake up in the morning and say, "This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." And I'm telling you, you can. It's not just some positive. I'm gonna feel good and do great today. It's not just that. When your joy truly is in the Lord, not in your circumstances, you can live a life of joy and a peace that surpasses all understanding. Ephesians 5:16 tells this, that we should redeem the time because the days are evil. Paul also wrote in Colossians 4:5, act wisely toward outsiders. And he's talking about outsiders being those who do not know the Lord. He said, redeeming the time. Twice he uses that, and maybe more. I do know twice he uses this phrase, redeeming the time. Other versions may say, make the most of every opportunity. There's a Greek word here, and I took a few classes of Greek in seminary, but I'll just tell you, I look in the Greek dictionaries and I say, what does somebody who knows so much more than I do, what do they say about this word? This word exagorazo, uh, it translated as redeeming in Ephesians and Colossians, means to rescue something from loss or to redeem it. It can also mean to pay a price, to recover, or to reclaim something from another. And he says redeeming times, to reclaim time, to rescue our time. We can really waste our time, can't we? Uh, get on Facebook and watch how much your time will be uh, wasted in just a. It's amazing. You could sit there an hour and he's like, hey, an hour went by, or YouTube, or whatever, some video game, or in front of a TV. Uh, and sometimes I really believe Facebook and YouTube and a lot of these things are not evil in themselves, but they can be big wasted. They can waste our time if we'll let them. Uh, it's amazing how much time we can spend on our phone if we'll do that. If if we allow that to happen, we each have 24 hours in a day, right? We each have 24 hours, and we'll sleep anywhere from 4 to 10 hours a day. And you're like, whew, I probably lean toward more the 4 to 5. And I'll sleep probably 7 hours a day is what I sleep. But some people sleep more, some people sleep less. Work 8 to 12 hours a day. I'm probably more on the 12 hours a day on the work. And then clean house, cook. You go through the mail, feed the dogs, go to the store, you change light bulbs, you fix the little things that need to be fixed, little things breaking. And then after you realize there's no time left. Matter of fact, I don't even have time to do the things I need to get done. How do I redeem the time? What is redeeming time? Well, one of the things we need to do is just serve the Lord as we go through life. Serve the Lord as I go through my life. When you get up every day, to be able to say, this is the day that the Lord has made. One of the things Monica has started doing is my wife Monica. One of the things she wants to do in the morning is, Lord, what is one thing that I can say thank you for? That's a blessing in my life today. And she just tries to find, as she starts off her day, Lord, what is something I'm thankful for today? And that's a great attitude. You're starting off the day with thankfulness instead of, oh no, the day's going to be a heavy day. It's going to be hard today. As opposed to, thank you, Lord. I mean, that's the beginning of redeeming our time. On your way to work, some of you, many of you work. It's a time to pray. It's a time to maybe listen to music that would be uplifting. It might be a time you can listen to the Bible. Uh, you can do that. You can listen to God's Word. You can listen to a sermon. You can listen to something that's uplifting to get your day started. At work or at home or wherever you may be spending your day, to be an encourager, to be a helper, to bless someone else. That's redeeming the time. And when you get home, make the most of your time. And in all of that, it's making God a priority in our life. I remember talking to a young man one day. He said, I don't have time to study my Bible. I don't have time to study my Bible. And we do have time to study our Bible. We don't make time to study our Bible. Um, you know, some people say, I don't have time for church, or I don't have time to go to a fellowship of believers or to a Bible. So I just don't have time to do that. No, we don't make time for that. We have time. We just don't make time. We don't. The most important thing in our life, there's nothing even compares to the most important thing in our life. And that's our relationship with God and our walk with Him. There's nothing more important than that. And for us to say, I don't have time for that, is a lie. We don't make time for that. We have time for that. If you are too busy something needs to change in your life. Something must change. I got to the point in my business late last year. I had some yards that were a lot more difficult to treat than others, and some of them were at farther distances away. And I just made a decision I was going to drop about 50 or 60 of these yards. And most people were very understanding. There was a couple of folks that they weren't very happy with that, but it was a decision I needed to make. And it's really helped me. I did pick up some new yards, but they were closer and they were easier to manage and things like that. And so it was one of those decisions that it was I think it was hurting me with my family time, my walk with God. And I needed to say no to some stuff instead of just saying yes to more money or yes to more business, but say, you know what, no, I need to draw a line here. If you're too busy, something needs to change. Uh, there's a there's a book I read it's been a few years ago now, and I didn't even read all of it. I just kind of read through and got the the basis of the book, and to help me with some things. I need to get more organized. I say that as I look at my desk and I think I need to get more organized. You cannot see my desk, but I need to organize this desk a little bit today. And I'm going to. It's a rainy day today, and I'm recording this on Tuesday for our Wednesday night study. And but there's a book called The Inefficiency Assassin by Helen Segura. I don't think she's a believer. I don't know anything about her, but she really helps with uh, getting people organized in their life. And one of the things that helped me was a 3+3 strategy in beginning your day. And I try to do this the night before for what I'm going to do the next day. And there are some things you're going to do every day, and maybe your time with God, your Bible study and prayer, and that may not be on the list. This 3+3, but on 3+3 attitude, again, this is just a practical thing to help. It's like, what are three things I want to get accomplished in my life today? I mean, there's three things I need to get accomplished. What are they? And so write those three things down. And you may have a list of everything you want to have. Like my to-do list to do around the house and vehicles and maintenance and everything I've got to do. I may have like 20 things on that list. But today, what are three things I want to get accomplished on today? And I'll put those three on there. If I don't get anything else done, I'm going to accomplish these three things today. And then the +3 would be, now if I get these three things done, here's the next three on the list that I want. If I get these done and I have time to do some more, I'm going to get these things done. And I can get maybe 8 or 9 things done in a day. But what do I have to get accomplished today? And that really helped me. The three most important things, and then the three right behind those things, if I can get maybe 6 things done today, and if you write stuff down, it'll really help you to be efficient. And I think that helps us redeem the time. I don't think it's just some practical information that will help us, but I think it's something that helps us redeem the time, that we're not wasting our days away, that we can get things accomplished that need to be accomplished. And don't let others, dictate your schedule for you. There are people that will tell you what you need to do, when you need to do it, how you need to do it. Be careful of those people. And don't be afraid to say no when somebody else comes to you and says, hey, I need you to do this. I want you to do this. Say, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to do that. I think one of the greatest things that a Christian can do in the busyness of our lives and in the busyness of churches, the it is there is so much. Sometimes churches can be so guilty of just being busy, busy, busy that that we're moving up. We've got a lot of moving parts, but we're really not getting anywhere. And Lord, I think the best way to help me is to say no to maybe 10 things ministry wise, but say yes to 1 or 2 or 3 things and do those things well. And always being open to say, God, I'm open to do whatever you want me to do. But I think that many people they equate saying yes with godliness, And saying yes to every ministry opportunity is not godliness. That sometimes it can really hurt us spiritually. There are time stealers that will take our that will steal our time. And I just mentioned phones and computers and TV, and even people sometimes. I have, sometimes I'll just go, uh, I'll do my yard. I'll treat yards in my business, and I love talking to my customers. I have some wonderful customers, but I have to be careful that because I I don't always knock on the door and just introduce myself every time. Now, when I first started, I was doing that more and more, talking to people, talking about their yard, and now I can't do that. If I talk to every customer for 10 or 15 minutes, I'll never get anything done. And so sometimes, even not just in your business, but sometimes people will just steal your time. And sometimes you have to say, I'm going to have to let you go. I've got this going on. And that's not being rude. You can be rude. Don't be rude. Just be kind and be gracious. But if you have something going on, to be able to say, "Hey, listen, I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to let you go." Uh, or it may be somebody that's a neighbor or something that just seems to always take your time up. That, be kind and be gracious. It may be they need somebody to talk to. That may be what you are. You're helping them, blessing them. That is redeeming the time. But there may be other things that you need to say no to. So if you look at this quick message, I say quick, it's 20 minutes, so maybe it's not too quick. But the action or the response from this message, uh, uh, to look at our lives and think, Lord, am I just miserably going through my life and missing the opportunities God gives me on a daily basis? And Lord, just help me. Forgive me. Lord, that this is the day that the Lord has made. Help me to rejoice and be glad in it. And Father, I pray that this can be the case in my life and in your life as we go throughout this week and the days ahead. Hope this has been a blessing to you. May God use it in your life. And hope to see you on Sunday morning on Mother's Day. And get your mom something for Mother's Day. Be a blessing to your mom and your dad. And I'm blessed to have the greatest parents anybody could ever have, and looking forward to spending time with them on Mother's Day. But may God bless you, and hopefully we'll see you on Sunday morning. Take care.